A book a day keeps the doctor away. It's not an actual saying, but reading can help you relax. That's why today we're going to hear about people's favorite books. Hi, I'm Catherine Dufresne, and I like to read, if you didn't catch on to that. Did you know that reading is a way to de-stress from the day? Well, according to the University of Minnesota's Taking Charge of Your Health and Well-Being page, reading can relax your body by lowering your heart rate and easing the tension in your muscles. In a 2009 study at the University of Sussex, they found that reading can reduce stress by up to 68%. It works better and faster than other relaxation methods, such as listening to music or drinking a hot cup of tea. If you don't know what to start reading to relax, lucky for you, we have a few people to talk about their favorite books. So we'll hear from Madison Ard, Megan Henshaw, and me. Hope you enjoy! First up to talk about their favorite book, we have Madison Ard.
My favorite book is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. It's about a 13-year-old boy named Connor who has nightmares about this big yew tree in the neighboring yard that turns into this massive monster that starts talking to him one night. And the monster tells Connor that he summoned him and that he'll tell him 3 stories, and after the 3rd story, Connor's going to tell him a true story about his life. If it's not true, the monster's going to eat him. So between the monster's stories that he tells Connor, you get glimpses of Connor's real life and how lonely and isolated he is for both his family and his peers, because his mother is terminally ill and his grandmother is very cold and just uncaring for him, and his father's in another country entirely, and he gets bullied at school. So he has a very rough life. And on top of that, he's having these weird nightmares that may or may not be true. It's my favorite book because the monster stories always have a running theme of human behaviors and why we are the way we are. And then also Connor is just a very likable protagonist that you want to see succeed and be happy. And he doesn't really get that for most of the book. So the whole time you're just sitting here like, no, this poor character, this poor boy. So it's just a really good read.
Next, we'll hear about Megan Henshaw's favorite book.
My favorite book is Eli the Good by Silas House. It was his first young adult fiction book that he wrote. It's about a 10-year-old boy named Eli and what goes on in his life during the summer of 1976. The bicentennial of our nation, so it does cover a little bit of that. But it's mostly focusing on, him and how he doesn't quite fit in his family and, how he's trying to be a good person. But, throughout the book, there's a big, he makes a huge mistake and he has to try to make up for it. It follows him and his best friend Edie and his aunt who comes to live with them for a while and has cancer, and his dad has PTSD, and it just kind of follows how Eli handles all this and how it's a coming of age book basically, but it's just a very good one that I related to a lot. Eli loves trees. I love trees. He has a favorite tree that he literally listens to, and that was something I did as a child. So when I read this book, it just, even though I shouldn't have anything in common with this book or this boy, I did, and it struck a chord.
And now we'll hear about my favorite book. So my favorite book is The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I first read this book in middle school and then again in high school, and I guess I just kind of related to the story of Charlie as he entered high school as a freshman. One of the most interesting things about this book is it's all written in letters to a mysterious friend, and all the names of the characters in the book are not the actual names of people. So I just really love that, and there's some very memorable quotes. But the letters carry through Charlie's freshman year of high school as he's known as a wallflower, kind of sticking to the sidelines of life and watching. But then he makes friends with 2 seniors, Sam and Patrick, and then they just have a wild adventure of just listening to music, finding love, making friends. And they also go through the aspects of his school life with his teacher who encourages him to read. He gives him books outside of class because he reads so fast, and just encourages him to write like the writers he likes. And I just loved that aspect of the story as well as an English major. And there's this underlying sadness that Charlie has in the book that is carried on throughout the novel, which is why he wrote the letters to this mysterious friend that kind of comes out at the end of the novels, and I don't want to spoil that. but it's a really great book, and I just think everyone should read this. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to people's favorite books, and I hope you found a book you like to read, or that you go looking for a book to read to de-stress from all your schoolwork.